One-man band.
One-man band.
The company is really a one-man band.
Oneness.
Oneness.
A sense of oneness with nature.
One-night stand.
One-night stand.
I'm not into one-night stands.
One-off.
One-off.
It's yours for a one-off payment of only £200. The deal was a one-off.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
Virtually all instruction in small groups or one-to-one.
Often the employer just called in the drivers and bargained with them directly, one-on-one.
One-parent family.
One-parent family.
One piece.
One piece.
A one-piece bathing suit.
Onerous.
Onerous.
An onerous task.
Oneself.
Oneself.
It is only through study that one really begins to know oneself.
One shot.
One shot.
This is a one-shot deal. If it doesn't work, it's over.
One-sided.
One-sided.
The newspapers give a very one-sided account of the war.
A very boring one-sided game.
The conversation was very one-sided.
One-sided.
Onesie. Onesie. One size fits all.
One size fits all.
A one-size-fits-all public education program.
One star.
One star.
One stop.
One stop.
One time.
One time.
Neil McMurtry, a one-time bus driver, is the lead singer.
One-to-one.
One-to-one.
Tuition on a one-to-one basis.
A one-to-one correspondence between letters and sounds.
I need to discuss it with him, one-to-one.
One-track mind.
One-track mind.
One-two.
One-two.
Ali gives his opponent the old 1-2 and it's all over.
One-way.
One-way.
The town's one-way system.
One-upmanship.
One-upmanship.
One-way.
One-way.
One-way mirror.
One-way mirror.
One woman.
One woman.
A one-woman show.
Ongoing.
Ongoing.
Their ongoing search for a new director.
Ongoing negotiations.
The discussions are still ongoing.
Onion.
Onion.
Chop the onions finely.
Red onions.
Homemade onion soup.
Onion skin.
Onion skin.
Online.
Online.
All the city's schools will be online by the end of the year.
An online printer.
The reports are not available online yet.
Online auction.
Online auction.
Online banking.
Online banking.
Onlooker.
Onlooker.
A crowd of onlookers had gathered at the scene of the accident.
Only.
Only.
Naomi was only 17 when she got married. There are only a few cars on the island.
It's only 8 o'clock.
It was only a joke.
It's an interesting job, but it's only temporary.
They're only small cuts. Nothing life-threatening.
Only the president can authorize a nuclear attack.
We use only the best ingredients.
The car park is for staff only.
I'll tell you, but only if you don't tell anyone else.
I ate the food, but only because I was starving.
The transfer takes place only when the data is complete.
When did you email her? Only yesterday.
Only then did she tell him about the attack.
She's only just got up. I only just finished my essay in time.
We can only hope it won't rain on the day.
I can only assume that it was a mistake.
What's happening? I only wish I knew.
If only he'd call. Don't interfere, you'll only make things worse.
You only have to look at the statistics to see that things are getting worse.
I arrived only to find that the others had already left.
Prices have risen sharply, as we know only too well.
Mark was only too happy to agree with her.
I was the only woman there.
He is our only child.
I was the only one who disagreed.
Cutting costs is the only solution.
She's the only person for this job.
I could take you. The only thing is, Dan might need the car.
I'd offer to help, only I'm really busy just now.
On message.
On message.
Bicycle for sale, £60 or near offer.
On-off. On-off.
An on-off relationship.
She had an on-off obsession with Mikey.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
On-ramp.
On-ramp.
Onrush.
Onrush.
The first onrush of the epidemic.
The onrushing tide. On screen.
On screen.
An on-screen tutorial is included in the price of the software.
On-screen violence.
Onset.
Onset.
The onset of winter.
Onshore.
Onshore.
Onshore oil production.
On-side.
On-side.
On-site.
On-site.
On-site car parking. Accommodation is provided on-site.
Onslaught.
Onslaught.
In December they launched a full-scale onslaught on the capital.
His public onslaught on the Conservatives. He praised his wife for her dignity under the onslaught of the tabloid press. He praised his wife for her dignity under the onslaught of the tabloid press. He praised his wife for her dignity under the onslaught of the tabloid press.
Plants that will survive the onslaught of winter. Plants that will survive the onslaught of winter.
On stage.
On stage.
Even today I get nervous before I go on stage.
On stream.
On stream.
Costs should fall as new technology comes on stream.
On the job.
On the job.
On the job training.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Doctors can often give on-the-spot treatment.
Onto.
Onto.
She watched him walk onto the platform.
Don't jump onto the bus while it's moving.
Pour the syrup onto the egg mixture.
The car rolled over onto its side.
Let's get back out onto the highway.
The dining room looks out onto a pretty garden.
A gate leading onto a broad track.
A number of people have been on to me complaining about the noise. Get onto the press office and find out what's happening.
The police are on to him.
With the new show, we were onto something big. I think she's onto a real winner with this song.
I'll get onto it right away.
Ontology.
Ontology.
Onus.
Onus.
The onus is on the prosecution to provide proof of guilt. The onus is on the prosecution to provide proof of guilt. The onus is on the prosecution to provide proof of guilt.
Onward.
Onward.
The company offers flights to Amsterdam with onward travel to The Hague.
The onward march of science.
Onwards.
Onwards.
From the 1980s onwards.
He walked onwards to the head of the lake.
With exports strong, the business is moving onwards and upwards.
Onyx.
Onyx.
Oodles.
Oodles.
They've got oodles of money.
Oof.
Oof.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Oomph.
Oomph.
It's not a bad song, but it needs more oomph.
Oops.
Oops.
Oops, I've spelt that wrong.
Oops-a-daisy.
Ooze.
Ooze.
The ice cream was melting and oozing out of its wrapper.
A cut on his cheek was still oozing blood.
Andrew laughed gently, oozing charm.
Oozy.
Oozy.
A black oozy mess.
Op.
Up.
He's had a minor heart op.
Opacity.
Opacity.
Opal.
Opal.
Opalescent.
Opalescent.
An opalescent sky.
Opaque.
Opaque.
A shower with an opaque glass door.
An opaque style of writing.
Opacity.
Opaque.
Op-art.
Op-art.
Opsit.
Opsit.
OPEC.
OPEC.
Op-ed.
Op-ed. The open.
Open.
He threw the door open and ran down the stairs.
An open window. The gates swung silently open.
The bar door flew open, and a noisy group burst in.
All the windows were wide open.
She looked at the open suitcase with surprise.
There was an open bottle of wine on the table.
I was so sleepy I couldn't keep my eyes open.
He was fast asleep with his mouth wide open.
There was open ground at the end of the lane.
Open spaces such as parks and gardens.
At weekends, people want to leave the town for open countryside. A shoal of fish swam past, heading for the open sea. A shoal of fish swam past, heading for the open sea.
The car's performance is good, especially going fast on the open road. The car's performance is good, especially going fast on the open road.
The president was riding with his wife in an open car.
Martin was struggling with the sails on the open deck. An open drain.
Many of the tombs had been robbed and left open to the sky.
The dancing was outside, in the open air. Jane wanted to rush to the door and get out into the open air.
The museum is open daily in the summer months.
The offices are also open at weekends.
After the security alert, most of the firms affected were open for business on Monday morning.
The villagers are anxious that their local school is kept open.
I declare this exhibition open.
The competition is open to all readers in the UK.
In many schools, governors' meetings are not open to the public.
The discussion was then thrown open for the audience's questions. The discussion was then thrown open for the audience's questions.
An open meeting. The men's race appears wide open.
The painting would fetch several $100s on the open market.
The job is being kept open for her.
The 1960s was a period when greater opportunities were open to women.
So what other options are open to us? So what other options are open to us?
There is only one course of action open to the local authority.
Her father watched her with open admiration.
Open hostility between the two nations.
The party was calling for more open government.
The case will be tried in open court. It is an open secret that she is having an affair with another man.
The couple are quite open with each other about their feelings.
She was quite open about her ambitions. His friendly, open manner.
The open neck of his shirt. She was wearing an open jacket. The matter remains an open question.
The new rates of pay are open to negotiation.
The test results are open to interpretation.
Officers investigating her death are keeping their options open.
The magazine's editor is open to criticism in allowing the article to be printed.
The regulations are open to abuse by companies. He has left himself open to accusations of dishonesty.
Teachers need to be open to children's ideas.
The committee is open to suggestions.
The owners of the building want to sell and are open to offers.
We try to keep the mountain roads open all through the winter.
At night, the flowers were open.
Johnson raised an open hand.
He was sitting in bed with a book lying open on his knees.
It's important to keep an open mind as you study the topic. Whether the new situation is an improvement is open to question.
Mike will be welcomed back into the team with open arms.
The lack of security measures provides an open invitation to crime.
The natural world was an open book to him.
Schoolgirls are being told that the door is open to them to pursue careers in science.
Jack opened the window. He opened the drawer of the desk.
She heard a door open and then close.
Louise opened a bottle of wine.
He opened the letter and began to read it.
The children were opening their presents.
Mark was about to open a beer when the doorbell rang. Barry was awake long before he opened his eyes. Carrie smelt coffee and her eyes opened reluctantly. Carrie smelt coffee and her eyes opened reluctantly.
He opened his mouth but couldn't think what to say. He opened his mouth but couldn't think what to say.
Sarah had recently opened an office in Genoa.
French and Scandinavian offices are due to open in the autumn. French and Scandinavian offices are due to open in the autumn. French and Scandinavian offices are due to open in the autumn.
The Forestry Commission has opened a plant centre selling rare plants. The Forestry Commission has opened a plant centre selling rare plants. The centre has been a great success since it opened its doors a year ago. The centre has been a great success since it opened its doors a year ago.
What time do the banks open? The bakery opens early.
The U.S. Attorney's Office has opened an investigation into the matter.
An inquest into the deaths will be opened next week.
Click on this icon to open the File Manager.
Hughes, opening the conference, made a dramatic plea for peace. The concert opens with Beethoven's Egmont Overture. The new County Hall building was officially opened by the King.
She opened her umbrella.
John opened his hand to show her he wasn't holding anything.
The flowers only open during bright weather.
I sat down and opened my book. She opened the curtains. Dave opened his arms to give her a hug.
They were clearing away snow to open the tunnel.
The peace treaty promises an end to war and opens the borders between the two countries. The peace treaty promises an end to war and opens the borders between the two countries. Paula and Rachel star as mother and daughter in the play, which opens tonight. Paula and Rachel star as mother and daughter in the play, which opens tonight.
The film opened yesterday to excellent reviews.
Mary was in the bank to ask about opening a current account. Mary was in the bank to ask about opening a current account.
Troops opened fire on the rioters.
Research on genes should open the door to exciting new medical treatments. Research on genes should open the door to exciting new medical treatments. Research on genes should open the door to exciting new medical treatments.
If the record is successful, it could open doors for my career.
The purpose of the training is to open managers' eyes to the consequences of their own behaviour.
The door opens onto a long balcony.
Beyond the forest, the path opened out into a track.
With a microscope, a whole new world of investigation opens up.
The new international agreement opens up the possibility of much greater cooperation against terrorism.
The new road will open up 300 acres of prime development land. The new road will open up 300 acres of prime development land. Open up! This is the police.
He opened up his case and took out a clean sweater.
The article was written with the intention of opening up a public debate. The article was written with the intention of opening up a public debate.
Last night was the first time that Ken had opened up about his feelings. Last night was the first time that Ken had opened up about his feelings.
In the summer, we camped in the open.
By now, the whole affair was in the open. She never let her dislike for him come out into the open. She never let her dislike for him come out into the open. She never let her dislike for him come out into the open.
All these concerns need to be brought out into the open. All these concerns need to be brought out into the open.
Open access TV. Open access TV.
Open air.
Open air.
Open-air concerts.
An open-air swimming pool.
Open and shut case.
Open and shut case.
Open bar.
Open bar.
Opencast. Opencast.
Opencast mining.
Open day.
Open day.
Open door policy.
Open door policy.
They're pushing forward economic reform and an open door policy.
Open-ended.
Open-ended.
An open-ended question. These interviews are fairly open-ended.
An open-ended agreement.
Opener.
Opener.
The can opener.
A bottle opener.
They are hoping to win tomorrow's opener against New Zealand.
For openers, the band played a couple of old Beatles songs. It's tough being a reporter. For openers, there are the long hours.
Open-eyed.
Open-eyed.
She lay there open-eyed.
Open-faced sandwich.
Open-faced sandwich.
Open-handed.
Open-handed.
An open-handed offer of help.
An open-handed slap.
Open-hearted.
Open-hearted.
They gave us an open-hearted welcome.
Open heart surgery.
Open heart surgery.
Open house.
Open house.
Parents are invited to attend the open house next Thursday. He kept open house for a wide range of artists and writers.
We're having an open house Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. We're having an open house Sunday, noon to 5 p.m.
Opening.
Opening.
The official opening of the new theatre.
The opening of the Cannes Film Festival. A narrow opening in the fence. A narrow opening in the fence.
At the opening of the trial.
There are very few openings in scientific research.
His question left an opening for me to say exactly what I thought. His question left an opening for me to say exactly what I thought.
I was startled by the sudden opening of the door.
The opening match of the season.
The opening chapter of the book.
The chairman's opening remarks.
Opening hours.
Opening hours.
Opening.
The chairman's opening remarks.
Opening hours. Opening night.
Opening night.
Opening time.
Opening time.
We arrived at the pub just before opening time.
Opening up.
Opening up.
The opening up of opportunities for women.
The opening up of new areas to cultivation.
Open jaw fair.
Open jaw fair.
Open letter.
Open letter.
Openly.
Openly.
Sarah talked openly about her problems.
He was openly critical of his colleagues.
Open market.
Open market. The painting would fetch millions of dollars if it was sold on the open market.
There is now an open market within the European community.
Open marriage.
Open marriage.
Open mic.
Open mic.
Open-minded.
Open-minded.
She's quite open-minded about sex.
Open-mouthed.
Open-mouthed.
We stared open-mouthed as the plane came down.
Open-necked.
Open-necked.
Openness.
Openness.
The openness of American society.
Her openness about her problems.
The importance of openness to change.
The vast openness of the African plains.
Open plan.
Open plan.
Open primary.
Open primary.
Open prison.
Open prison.
Open sandwich.
Open sandwich.
Open season.
Open season.
The open season for deer.
It seems to be open season on politicians just now.
Open sesame.
Open sesame.
A university degree isn't always an open sesame to a good job.
Open source. Open source. Open source software such as Linux.
Open system.
Open system.
Open toad.
Open toad.
Open university.
Open university.
Open verdict.
Open verdict.
The jury returned an open verdict.
He said there was some doubt over the way Grant had died and recorded an open verdict.
Open vowel.
Open vowel.
Open work. Open work.
An open work stone screen.
Opera.
Opera.
We go to the opera regularly.
An opera singer. Operatic performances.
Operable.
Operable.
Less than half the rail network was operable. Less than half the rail network was operable.
Opera house.
Opera house.
The Sydney Opera House.
Operate.
Operate.
The Lewis family operated a number of boats on the canal. The Lewis family operated a number of boats on the canal.
Clive was experienced in operating the computers. Clive was experienced in operating the computers. Check that the equipment is operating in a safe manner. The bus is designed to operate in all weather conditions.
Most freezers operate at below -18 degrees Celsius. Most freezers operate at below -18 degrees Celsius. A design company operating from offices in Seattle. A design company operating from offices in Seattle.
A playgroup operates on the campus.
They were trying to reduce operating costs.
Nuns are operating an emergency hospital.
The whole tax system is now operating more efficiently.
The new law doesn't operate in our favour.
The car parks operate a pay-as-you-leave system.
The bus company operates a Monday to Saturday service. The bus company operates a Monday to Saturday service. Doctors had to operate to remove the bullet. Doctors had to operate to remove the bullet. The surgeon who operated on Taylor's knee.
Most people just can't operate in noisy, crowded conditions. Most people just can't operate in noisy, crowded conditions.
Older children often like to operate independently.
Security patrols now operate in some of the most dangerous parts of the city. Security patrols now operate in some of the most dangerous parts of the city.
Enemy submarines operating in the Mediterranean.
The foam operates as a very effective filter. The foam operates as a very effective filter. The foam operates as a very effective filter.
The car's service manual is designed to operate as a guide for owners.
The laws of evolution operating on each species.
Operating room.
Operating room.
Operating system.
Operating system.
Operating table.
Operating table.
Operating theatre.
Operating theatre.
Operation.
Operation.
She's going to need an operation on her ankle.
An operation for cancer.
He had an operation to reduce the swelling in his brain.
The firm set up its own property development operation. The firm set up its own property development operation.
A microchip manufacturing operation.
Nolan and Barnes were both involved in the operation. Many small businesses fail in the first year of operation. Many small businesses fail in the first year of operation. The Education Business Partnership has been in operation since 1989. The UN rescue operation started shortly after dawn.
The aircraft's engine operation was normal.
Protective clothing must be worn when the machine is in operation. Protective clothing must be worn when the machine is in operation.
The device has a single button allowing for easy operation. Careful checks must be made before the factory commences operation. The new investment system came into operation in 1999.
A clear example of the law of gravity in operation.
The new rule comes into operation on February the 1st.
A scheme is being brought into operation to see how these changes would work. A scheme is being brought into operation to see how these changes would work.
Britain will carry out a joint military operation with the U.S.
Operational.
Operational.
The boat should be operational by this afternoon.
The new system became operational in March.
Our main offices are now fully operational.
PATCO accepted full responsibility for operational management. PATCO accepted full responsibility for operational management.
Operational research.
Operational research.
Operative.
Operative.
Only one runway is operative.
The steps to be taken before the scheme can become operative. The steps to be taken before the scheme can become operative.
The new system offers fast solutions, fast being the operative word.
Patients undergoing operative procedures.
The company's overseas operatives.
Operator.
Operator.
Hello, operator. Could you put me through to room 31?
Computers which can be used by untrained operators.
New regulations affecting taxi operators.
Julian travelled with Caribbean Connection, the UK's leading Caribbean tour operator. Julian travelled with Caribbean Connection, the UK's leading Caribbean tour operator.
A private operator running regular passenger services.
Monsieur Valentin was a formidable political operator. He may not look it, but Newman is a smooth operator.
Operetta.
Operetta.
Ophthalmic.
Ophthalmic.
An ophthalmic surgeon.
Ophthalmology.
Ophthalmology.
Opiate.
Opiate. Opiate.
Hollywood movies were seen as an opiate for the people.
Opine.
Opine.
The headmistress opined that the trip would make a nice change. The headmistress opined that the trip would make a nice change.
Opinion.
Opinion.
What's your opinion of Kathy?
He asked his wife's opinion on every important decision.
The two women had very different opinions about drugs. The two women had very different opinions about drugs.
In my opinion, the law should be changed.
When choosing an insurance policy, it's best to get an independent opinion.
My doctor says I need an operation, but I've asked for a second opinion.
They took the painting to get an expert opinion.
They have a very high opinion of Paula's work. I was firmly of the opinion that we should not give Jackson any more money.